He's heating up.
Draymond, Kirk Franklin, Green. All right. I only got one thing to say about that, and that is the playoffs really don't start till he hits somebody. So the playoffs are officially underway. Game 2, Philly versus Brooklyn. Philly 96, Brooklyn 84. Embiid goes 20 points, 19 rebounds, 7 assists, 8 turnovers. Maxey 33.6 threes. Harris 20 points, 12 rebounds. Cam Johnson started off hot, cooled off in the second half. 28 points, 5 threes. Bridges 21 points. Dinwiddie 12 points and 6 assists. Woo! The double team. All right, Brooklyn sticking to it. My issue is this. They're double teaming a center that is 23 to 25 feet away from the basket, and they're not rotating at all. They're not rotating the Maxey, not the Harris. They're rotating poorly to the corners. You're letting them take threes wide open. Guys that are shooting above 33, 34, 35%, they're bound to catch fire and get rolling. Game 1, we seen James Harden, 7 threes. Game 2, Maxey, 6 threes. I said this in the last video. When Harden and Maxey are aggressive out of those swings from the double team, they're going to be tough to beat. And Brooklyn doesn't have enough to combat that. Now, I would rather them zone up because that means you have one on ball. You have somebody taking away Embiid, and your rotations are already in place for if they swing the ball, you have everything covered. You have the corners covered. You can get out to the wings. You can get to Embiid if he's in the middle of the lane and trap him there. Now, you're not going to stop him. Obviously, we've seen that over the first 2 games, but you have to have a better game plan in place because the rotations for your defense out of the double team is trash right now. Absolute hot garbage. You have 3 players for Philly in double figures, just 3. You force 19 turnovers. James Harden only has 8 points, and you still lose by 12. That directly points to Dinwiddie and Claxton. Claxton has a goose egg last night, and I'm not going to say it's because he was guarding Embiid. I'm going to say simply because he was just not engaged last night. Embiid was guarded by DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Royce O'Neal and Cam Johnson and all those other guys. They put smaller bodies on them quicker so you can get into the double team faster, right? Claxton was relatively, I don't even remember most of the time he was out on the court. All right. It was a very forgivable game for him. And then that also reflects on Dinwiddie because if anything, that means he's not getting his big man involved. Big man is required to rebound, block shots. If he's not engaged in the game, that doesn't have anything to combat Joel Embiid's performance. Now, 19 rebounds. That's unacceptable. You got to take accountability if I'm Claxton. But Dinwiddie only having 12 points and 6 assists after going back and forth in the media, interviews, Twitter with Kyle Kuzma, somebody who's at home, and you're telling him you're the second or third best player on a really good team and how you're in the playoffs and he's not, and Rick Fox didn't do this and Rick Fox didn't do that, and you're getting lit up knowing that you have a top 75 player in NBA history, former MVP, one of the greatest shooting guards in NBA history, and the leading assist man in the NBA this season on the opposite side of the ball, but you're focused on Kyle Kuzma. Very confusing me. To each their own. You're down 0-2, lost this game by 12. You're going back to Brooklyn, and I hope you don't think it's just going to flip the switch because you're not that good as a basketball team to take these games so lightly. But hey, hopefully you get your act together because they lighten you up on Twitter right now. Game 2 in Sacramento. Kings 114, Warriors 106. Sabonis 24 points, 9 rebounds. Fox 24 points, 9 assists. 4 other players with 13 plus. You have Steph with 28, 6 assists. Wiggins 22, 5 rebounds. Clay 21, 5 3-pointers. This game is very simple. This is going to be extremely simple for Golden State in this entire series. Okay, they shot better across the board than Sacramento. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Shot very well last night. But Sacramento, they had 3 more offensive rebounds, and they had 8 less turnovers. Turnovers numbers were 22 to 14. There's live ball turnovers, and dead ball turnovers. Dead ball goes out of bounds. You can set your defense. Live ball, you're just scrambling around trying to cover shooters. My biggest thing about this is you can't do either of those things well. You're not doing well in the half court because they're pick and rolling you to death and nobody's stepping up on either player. So Fox is able to get to the mid range. He shot 10 of 23 last night. Did not shoot well. Now Monk, he came off the bench, 18. Mitchell, 14. And what they were doing were coming off dribble handoffs, pick and rolls, and stepping into a jump shot because there was nobody showing for the defense. Kevon Looney, Draymond, it doesn't matter who was in the position to guard Sabonis on these pick and rolls and Alex Len, no matter who was setting the screen, that person that was defending them was not stepping up. Sacramento had wide open jumpers every time they came off a screen or a dribble handoff. So that's something that Golden State needs to clean up. Now, I knew what Golden State was coming into this series, and I knew what they were coming into this game. 11-30 on the road. The expectations was not high for this series as far as Golden State getting it done on the road. They just need to win one because they go home, they're 33-8. They're even better than their clip last season. I think their season last year they were like 31-10. Now, the bigger issue with that is Sacramento is a better road team than they are at home. They're 25-16, which means guess what? They're not just winning games offensively. When you're on the road, your offense is guaranteed to suffer. Percentage-wise, sometimes you're going to have lapses offensively. You're probably going to have more turnovers. But defense travels, especially for any Mike Brown team. If you look at the old Warriors teams from the past several years, if you look at the Clippers teams, if you look at the Cavs teams, and then you look at the Lakers teams, defense always traveled well for Mike Brown teams. And it's nothing different this year. They're very good defensively, and they've proven that they can get the job done on the road this year. Now, it's the playoffs. Golden State, they have that switch they can flip. We've seen it time and time again. I'm not relying on it this year because it seems like the chemistry is off. I'm not talking about, anything that's happened in the locker room or any leaked footage of Draymond punching Jordan Poole. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the idea in the back of your mind that, you know what, we've been playing for years. I can just throw this ball and not pay attention. I can throw this pass and not even look at the person I'm throwing to or look at the pass itself because they're just going to catch it or they're going to know it's coming. That's the type of basketball that Golden State is playing, and right now is biting themselves in the behind. Steph Curry cannot do this alone. Klay Thompson, 21 points, that's not going to get it done. Wiggins, 22 points. When Jordan Poole is struggling and he's facing injury, that's not going to get it done. I need at least 3 guys for this team in that 25 and up. If you look at Kevin Durant, Steph, and when Klay Thompson was playing together, you could count on 25 plus from all 3 guys. You're not really seeing that from Golden State, and you're also not seeing the defense. Sacramento was running roughshod over them in the first 2 games. If Golden State goes home, they have got to win 2 straight games and come back, and they have to steal one in Sacramento for them to win this series. If they give one away at home, this series is over in 5. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. That's one more for the good guys. Stop grabbing Draymond by the ankle. You know he's going to kick you in the chest.
He's heating up.